Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday. I'm going to be recapping one of my swing trades for 2019 and how I made a little bit over $3,000 on it. For those that watched kind of like my video, if you guys haven't checked it out, again, my name's Ricky. I run the largest YouTube channel and the largest private Facebook group for those who invest in the stock market. We have a little bit over 185,000 members within our free Facebook group of TechBot Solutions. It's the first link in the bio if you want to check it out. One of the videos that I made last week, 3 days ago to be exact, is my $2,500 loss. In that video, I talked about, that I was in a position on DGAS. I was considering the idea of swing trading. This was last Friday. And the really cool thing about that is that, we went through the entire weekend. I explained my reasoning behind that specific, value in that swing trade. It made sense to me, and that's what's important. If it didn't make sense to you, 100% I understand, and I'm happy that you did not take that position. What's most important long term is if you only continue to invest in patterns that make sense to you. Because of that swing trade, and I sold a portion of that, but because of that swing trade, I ended up holding some of my shares, right? And then during pre-market hours, I was able to lock it in and scalp a little bit of the rest. Now I'm up $3,146 on the day on ticker symbol DGAS. This has been the only thing that I've traded today. And again, regardless of how it is that you want to see it, if you want to take it as I took a $2,500 loss on Friday and I'm up 3,000 today, or if you want to take that wasn't a loss and that I'm only up $500 net, regardless of what you want to see. Again, the day before I was up another 2,500. I'm super happy, super thankful that I've been able to lock in these big days. I try to average and again aim for 3% growth a day. That would put me at around $750. I've been doing a lot better as of right now, just due to the overall volatility that DGAS and UGAS have showed, due to the overall volatility of natural gas. Kind of just wanted to share that with you guys. DGAS has been pushing up all pre-market hours and leading up to market open. I literally just finished going live with the Learn Plan Profit group. That's that second link in the description if you want to learn more about that. But pretty much I went live with the LPP group. I traded for about, if I'm not mistaken, 40 minutes with them, and just talked about what it is that I saw value in and stuff like that. So this is our morning live chat. This is, kind of like the video lesson library where I go live every single day. They get to watch me trade live, see me buy, see me sell, ask me questions, just have a good time and, try to make the most of it. One of the things that I talked about is that /NG has been selling off, not just, during the extended hours, but leading up to when I can trade through TD Ameritrade, during extended hours. I can trade 2.5 hours before the market opens. Market opens at 7:30 here in Arizona, so I could trade as soon as 5 a.m. And that's kind of like when I started. So around 5 o'clock, showed signs of a peak formation, began to sell off, locked in profits, pushed up, bought the inverse of the reversal of DGAS, right? So then when DGAS or when natural gas sells off, then DGAS pushes up, made a little bit more with that, and then guess what? It had a really strong support at 318. We talked about it nonstop. If you're part of LPP under the trade ideas, I've just been keeping everyone up to date with how it's been trading. I don't tell people where to buy. I don't tell people where to sell. I don't work hard for your money, so I should not be the one that decides what you choose to invest in. One of the biggest things that you need to focus on has to be reason and feeling comfortable with your position. And if it makes sense to you, great. In yesterday's video, if you guys didn't check that out, I talked about the the top 4 futures that I'm watching for 2019 in 10 minutes. Feel free to watch that out, watch that video. I talked about its direction and why it's so important to focus on that and how it makes it that much easier to understand what to invest in. I simply utilize direction to understand that natural gas is selling off, and as long as it continues to trade in between the middle and bottom VWAP and continues to make lower lows and lower highs, then it's in favor of DGAS, because when natural gas sells off, then DGAS pushes up. One thing that I've noticed is that now DGAS is peaking out around $80, and it's not really pushing above that. Although natural gas continues to sell off, due to the leverage, DGAS just isn't pushing up as aggressively. Because of that, again, I'm up a decent amount, a huge amount in my eyes. That's more than enough for me. $3,000 is what I would be so happy to have within 1 week. And me being able to achieve that just within 1 day, again, that's huge. And I need to remind myself that. So because I'm already up so much on the day, I don't want to give back that profit. So I'm going to be extremely selective with what I choose to invest in, and only let's say the person next to me just doesn't see value in what it is that I'm trading. It doesn't matter. Again, people are so narrow-minded sometimes when it comes down to wanting to decide what I trade and that it doesn't make sense. Again, if it makes me money and I trade the same thing time after time and I do well with it and it makes sense to me, then guess what? Don't worry about what it is that I'm doing, right? And I think that's the approach that you should have the rest of 2019. It doesn't matter what other people say. It only matters if it makes sense to you. It doesn't matter if someone's making a ton of money. I'm doing really well with natural gas. Who cares? If it doesn't make sense to you and you just don't resonate well with that material or with those patterns, then guess what? It happens all the time. People just don't understand natural gas. But I also don't understand and don't like to trade marijuana companies or pharmaceutical companies. But maybe some people do extremely well with that. It does not matter what other people are doing and how much money they're making. It only matters what makes sense to you. So again, I'm here to share what worked well for me. So I did well today. I with the profit and all that stuff. But what did I focus on? Direction, right? On natural gas and how that was selling off and how I used that information to trade D-gas after I locked in profits on that swing trade. And then I identified a resistance, saw that it hasn't been pushing up as aggressively. So the progression at the rate that it's moving up is not as great. So what am I doing? I'm going to hold back a little bit until it identifies that true direction. If it continues to push up and natural gas continues to sell off, then hey, maybe I might want to be a part of that, but with a smaller position size because, again, the higher it goes, the more risk it becomes to pull back more aggressively. Again, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. If it makes sense to you and there's a reason behind it, then let's focus on that. So I want to see if I can answer any of your guys' questions that yeah. So you buy and sell lines, you use the 20 or the 50. Well, my buy and sell lines, no, I'm not using buy or sell lines. This is the middle VWAP, top VWAP, bottom VWAP. This is the SMA line, and then this is the EMA line. So again, I do like to focus on that, but I like to focus more on direction. That's what's most important to me. I don't like to focus on exact price points on buying at the very bottom or selling at the very top. For those that watched me trade live this morning within Learn Plan Profit, I did not sell at the very top. I sold at 79.77. I locked in profits right away. It pushed up all the way to 80.17. And again, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot because I didn't make that extra 30 cents. Extra 30 cents is not going to matter 30 years from now. But what is going to matter is if I end up not selling my position, not locking in profits, it sells off super aggressively. I get discouraged to ever trade again, and I don't get to that point where I can trade 30 years down the road because I discourage myself because of bad habits today. Again, don't worry about how much money you can make. If there's a reason that you're buying, if there's a reason that you should sell, then do it. That's simple. It's forget about what everyone else is saying. Who cares if it's the best buy? Who cares if it's the top trending stock? If it doesn't make sense to you, then don't trade it. Again, it's trading for the future, not for today. So, I do agree. It has to do with the leverage, right? So if you don't see it pushing up as aggressively as it has been before, then again, it's just not worth it. There's a lot of things that are trending right now, as in like, if I'm not mistaken, /NQ sold off. So that means that SQ should be pushing up. So because the NASDAQ future, this is actually a really good sign, for those that are, wanting the market to kind of pull back a little bit. It's showing signs of a peak formation. We've talked about this for about a week. What am I waiting for? For this to consistently sell off. It's pushing down a little bit, great, but it's done that before. I want continuous lower lows. I have nothing but time because it has nothing but margin. So as this sells off, then SQs pushes up. Beautiful thing about that is patience, right? Discipline, knowing when to enter. It's not entering at the lowest price point. That does not matter long term. Yes, it might be cool first couple of times, but trust me, you'll be more in the red than in the green if you continue to try to implement that, at least in my experience, and that's all I can speak of. Also /GC, if I'm not mistaken, was selling off and it tried to pick up, but I think it's still selling off as of right now. Something to kind of look out for. And then /CL, selling off, just like we talked about, right? Showing signs of a peak formation. And as this sells off, then we have UWT and DWT to follow. So that means that DWT might start pushing back up, but again, let's wait for that confirmation. So I want to thank you guys again for your time. I want to thank you guys again for, hey, what's going on, Georgian? But let's see. Any good questions? All right. But I do want to let you know facts and myths. If you promote other YouTube channels within the live chat, I'll block you. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for your time. Hope you guys continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. I also do want to remind you that, again, if you want to be part of our free Facebook group, it's that first link in the description. I hope that you learned something new in this video. If you guys did, I'd really appreciate the thumbs up. Also, you heard me talk about them a little bit. It's the Learn Plan Profit group. If you want to be able to watch me trade live every single day, watch a couple of my YouTube videos, become more familiar with my trading style, and if you see value in it, great. I would love to be able to help you out. I also do want to remind you that if you're part of TechBit Solutions, once you join our free Facebook group, once you get accepted, on the top pinned post, there's a link to the private Discord chat. I know I didn't answer all of your questions. I can answer your questions via direct message. Please, 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 if you're going to ask me something, make sure that it's not already on YouTube and that I haven't made a video about it and that it's not already answered on Google. If it's an actual open-ended question in which that you need my assistance with, 100% ask me. Please do your own due diligence before reaching out to me. That's all I ask. We have tens of thousands of people that are part of our groups that message us. I just want to make sure that we utilize our time effectively and efficiently. Thank you guys again. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Lock in profits. Let's focus on those quality trades and let's trade for the future and not for today. Again, wish you guys the best. It's lock in profits, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.